Hi all, I'm Anjusha R, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, VVIT Institute of Technology. Here, I am going to have a tech talk on transatlantic tunnel. It's a floating tunnel. So first of all, we can discuss about what is a submerged floating tunnel. It is a tube-like structure of steel or concrete made of through buoyancy and supported on columns or held in place attached to the seafloor or by pontoons floating on the surface. It utilizes the lakes and waterways to carry traffic underwater and onto the other side, where it can be conveniently linked to the rural network or to the underground infrastructure of modern societies. In recent times, it gives increased importance in the needs of society for regional growth and protection of the environment. So, in this wider context, the submerged floating tunnel offers new opportunities. It is an innovative concept for crossing waterways, utilizing the law of buoyancy to support the structure at moderate and convenient depth. Sometimes it might be best if the bridge was not there because of the environmental impact a bridge may have, such as noise pollution, and disruption to the scenery. So, but then you cannot get across to the other side. This is a figure showing the theory of buoyancy, and the other figures are showing the submerged. Some of the figures showing the submerged tunnels. So here in this figure, it can see that it is suspended from the pontoons and attached to the sea floor. Now coming to transatlantic tunnel. It is a theoretical tunnel which would span the Atlantic Ocean between North America and Europe and would carry some sort of mass transit trains and envisioned in most proposals. Using advanced technologies, speeds of 500 to 800 km per hour are envisioned. So this is the pathway of the tunnel. So plans for such a tunnel have not progressed beyond the conceptual stage and no one is actively pursuing such a project. The main barriers to constructing such a tunnels are the cost, as much as $12 I mean $12 trillion and the limits of current material science. It is 215 times longer than the longest current tunnel and would cost perhaps 3000 times as such. Reasons flow floating tunnel. It is totally new concept and never before used even for very small length. It can be observed that depth from place to place on a great extent. The maximum depth is up to 8 km, also at certain sections. The two more alternatives are available for constructions are bridge over a bridge above the water level or tunnel below the ground level. But as we see, the depth is up to 8 km. It is impossible to construct concrete columns of such height. Secondly, if we go for the second option, that is tunnel below the ground, the pressure below 8 km from sea surface is nearly about 5000 times than atmospheric pressure, so one cannot survive in such a high pressure zone. Therefore, floating tunnel is finalized which is at a depth 30 meters from sea level at which there is no problem of high pressure. This is sufficient to go any big ship to pass over it without any obstruction. Now coming to the components of tunnels. The main components of the tunnels are gasket or shell, sea anchors, utility conduits and service port, vacuum pumps, maglev trains and guideways. Gasket or shell. As the tunnel is situated at a depth of 30 meters, it should be perfectly watertight, and secondly it should resist the salty seawater, and thirdly it should be withstand against hydrostatic force coming on it. So it is made up of four layers. The outermost layer is of aluminum to resist the salty seawater. Second and third layer is made up of foam to float the tunnel easily on water. And the fourth layer is of concrete which gives strength to the tunnel. As the length of the tunnel is very large, it is not possible to construct the tunnel at site. Therefore, it is made up of 54,000 precast units, and these units are casted on shore and transported to place where they have to fix the units with two large floating platforms. Now coming to Z anchors. So as the tunnel is the Atlantic Ocean, it should have to face high current velocity in Atlantic Ocean. So the tunnel should not deflect much with water current. Therefore, it should be anchored to the sea with the help of steel anchors. So the procedure is as follows: that first the ropes are attached to a block, and this block is inserted in seabed water, comes out from top and forms a hydrostatic steel which holds the block firmly in seabed. Next is vacuum pump. Since the train is running with such a thrilling speed of 5000 mph in the tunnel, the air resistance is too high on such a high speed. Therefore, to reduce it and increase the speed of train, the vacuum is created in tunnel. But creating a vacuum in such a long tunnel is very difficult task. So with available equipment, 100 propellers of most powerful Boeing jet are required to evacuate the air continuously for 15 days. The vacuum pumps are installed throughout the length of tunnel to maintain the vacuum in it. Now service port. The tunnel is powered by electrically, which should be available for entire length of tunnel. So these electrical wires are carried out through utility conduits. The two service ports are provided in tunnel, one above and other below the track conduit, and these are provided for communication and access for repair works. Next is maglev train, which is a magnetically elevated trains which do not run over the track but float slightly above the track. Thus, we can achieve practically zero tractive resistance between the train and track. Further, this train will pass through vacuum, which increases the speed of train. The sensation of flying at 400 mph with no engine noise or vibration will make the journey through the tunnel a unique experience. Special rotating and pivoting seats are provided to further reduce the effect of gravitational force. So this is a figure showing the mega train. This is the cross section showing the tunnel. Now the challenges to be faced are cost, fire, collision, no stoppage condition, etc. So due to loads of material and machinery involved in project, estimated cost is nearly 1.2 thousand crore dollars. And it is difficult to rescue people if fire will break out in train, and also to face the problems due to the smoke of fire. If in case of a collision of two trains took place, it is very difficult to rescue the people, and it is very difficult to stop the train traveling on such a high speed. Conclusion: the tunnel will set a new trends in transportation engineering, and which shows with the advances in technology, we can reduce the time required for traveling and make the transportation more effective. By hiding the traffic underwater, the beauty of landscape is maintained and valuable land is available for other purposes. Benefits can be obtained with respect to the energy consumption, air pollution, and reduced noise emissions. For wide and deep crossings, the submerged floating tunnel may be the only feasible fixed link, replacing present-day ferries and providing local communities with new opportunities for improved communication and regional development.